Just 2 weeks behind Knox Johnson, he continued eastwards for another lap of the Southern Ocean to save my soul, as he put it. This is the real solo race, sailing like it's 1968.
Forcément, tous les gens qui reviendront de la Golden Globe Race, forcément, il faut s'attendre à ce qu'ils aient changé.
It's a great story and it's the 50th anniversary, and it's a great opportunity to relive the original solo sailing when technology wasn't available, where we're just using sextants and wind-up clocks to find your position. And it's really the story of humanity and human endeavour in the extreme. So the world has never seen anything like this event.
Well, good day, everybody. This is an impromptu drop-in by a good mate of mine. In fact, I'll just bring him in right now. Let's see. We got a problem. What happened? There we are. Slight delay getting you up, Tapio. Can you hear me okay?
Yeah, I hear you and I see you.
Yep. Okay, that's good. There's a little bit of a delay there, anyway. So, so great to see you, Tapio. Just over 1 year since you got back from your epic journey, the final finisher in the Golden Globe race. What have you been up to? And do you reflect back on that moment?
Well, it was absolutely fantastic to come back to France and to Les Sables d'Olonne. I have said that coming to the harbor of Les Sables d'Olonne felt like coming home. And one of the many things which I will never forget was the first breakfast I had at Gilles Foix-Cosson's farm outside of the town, and my whole family was there. And in order to commemorate that first breakfast, I was woken up yesterday morning when the doorbell rang, and there was a piccolo from the finest Helsinki hotel bringing me the fanciest and finest breakfast that they serve in Helsinki, which my daughter Silja with his husband sent for me to celebrate my first civilized French breakfast. So cool. I thoroughly enjoyed it and was remembering how great it felt to be on land and have fresh food and fresh eggs from the farm.
Fantastic. It's hard to believe it's already a year, eh? It's really gone very fast. So I know obviously the anniversary is something that's easy to remember and it's a focus. But how did you, when you look back at the Golden Globe race now, how do you feel about it? Like how often do you think about the GGR? Like how much is it entrenched in your life at the moment and in this past year?
Very, very much, because I keep giving lectures of the race, and actually just last week I was talking to the personnel of the office of the Finnish Prime Minister. I think they had more than 100 people online, and the week before I was telling my salty stories to the personnel of Finnish Foreign Ministry, so people all around the world in the Finnish embassies were online then, and I have also just finished the book of the race. We kept on writing it together with Ari Pusa, who is the sports journalist of the biggest newspaper in Helsinki, who was following the race.
I remember him well.
So it was. And then we are also in the process of getting a 80-minute video document finished of the race. So I have been reliving the race many times, and I keep enjoying it.
Yeah, cool. It's, I mean, Finland is already a major sailing nation, but it appears from what I'm seeing, you've stirred up a few other issues as well, like people following you and so on. I mean, that's been a huge success in many ways. How's the yacht club and the junior sailing thing going? Are the kids fired up? Do they talk about you? Do they treat you as a bit of a hero or what?
Well, since last summer, we haven't during the last few months haven't been able to meet many people, but I have a view from the window of my flat to the horizon outside of Helsinki, and I have difficulties concentrating on work because I have my binoculars there, and I keep following the optimist and laser practice sessions which are being done outside of my windows.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
I'm glad to see that the young sailors are actively out there.
Yeah, that's cool. So just in the race, what's the strongest memory that you reflect back on when you're alone and just walking down the beach or doing something? What's your strongest vision? The one thing that's the most powerful from the Golden Globe?
It's difficult to say. I think it is the race as a whole, but maybe if I need to choose one single thing, I guess it's just the feeling of sailing down in the Southern Ocean. I've been repeating that the feeling of being there in the vast, pristine, clean emptiness is such an experience that I will never forget it, and that's the most important reason I still want to get back there. And I've been repeating that the circumstances are such that if I'd been sailing there for 1 million years ago, it would have been exactly the same with the albatrosses flying around me. And that's
Yeah,
the
it's
thing.
true. I have one very strong vision of the GGR, and that's a number of people that were saying, "Oh, when are you going to write your book, Tapio? When are we going to see it in English?" So, what's happening? Anything? Can we talk about anything like that, or not?
Our friend Barry has promised to proofread it and edit it, so he's in the process of helping me. So I'm pretty optimistic that we will be ready quite soon, and it
Yeah.
will be given out as an electronic book, so it will be easy to download.
Fantastic. That's going to get a huge following. There'll be a lot of people very excited to hear that, because you're a bit of a philosopher during the race. We had some interesting conversations. So we're going to look forward to another big chat later on about your involvement in the 22 edition of the Golden Globe. I see you've got a model there behind you of a particular type of boat. So that's a model of your new boat, your bigger boat, and that all evolved from the GGR, because I can remember our conversation one time. You mentioned when you were approaching Cape Horn, in fact, a couple of times, mentioned Peter Blake when he lost his mast on Aramco, sailing around you, going the tradewind route in the South Atlantic, and you were struggling there. And then you mentioned it again, going to Cape Horn, saying you really missed that opportunity to have crew members so that you could go off watch and just enjoy the moment and have a rest and have a sleep, and then come on for 4 hours and so on. So, and I know you're doing the Ocean Globe, but what's the connection there? What's happening?
Well, speaking of Peter Blake, he has always been one of my big heroes, and
Yeah, me too.
and to pay him tribute, I put on red socks the morning I sailed around Cape Horn. So
Okay.
that was
That's cool. Yeah,
that was ceremony for him.
yeah. And so you've got your boat still in the Swan 55 is still in the shed? Is
Yes,
it out for
yeah.
summer coming out?
The problem is that we are sailing her with a crew of 12, and until the beginning of June, there's a rule in Finland that you can't organize gatherings of people or groups bigger than 10.
Okay.
So we'll save that till June, but in a couple of weeks we ought to be sailing again.
Yeah.
I'm really longing to get back to the sea.
Yeah, that's quite a hectic program. I think when you cross the finish line first in the 2022 GGR, you'll have about 3 months before the start of the Ocean Globe race. So you're going to be going around in circles, eh?
Yeah, I need to choose my anti-fouling more carefully this time so that I won't miss the start of the OGR.
Yeah, it started a bit of a story, eh? I know I've got some pictures here. It was a quite incredible situation, but beautiful boat. So, what did you do with your boat during winter? She come out of the water as well, GGR?
Yeah. Oh, yes. So all the three boats, also this 6 meter, are up on land. So and now it seems that both Asteria and the 6 meter will stay on land through this Corona summer, and so we will sail only with Galliano. I have a group of about 30 to 40 people who have been interested in signing up into the crew. So I want to give opportunity to sailing for all of them, so they can see how the boat is like, and we
It's
get
going to
to
be
know
a tough call trying to select the crew. Have you worked out a process yet? Like, how are you going to do it? How are you going to pick? Because I can imagine people will be all over you trying to get in the boat.
Yeah, well, it will be interesting, and of course it will be, in the end, it will be tough and sad thing to tell some of the people that they won't get into the team, but I want to give a chance for sailing for as many as possible.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
then the race crew itself, my aim is to sail with the same crew through the whole race and without changing people if it's possible.
Yeah. Okay. And so now, just once again looking back on 2018, do you think you changed because of the race once it was over? Do you think you're still the same person you were before you went, or did it change you in any way? Talking about you, not everything around you, just you.
I guess I'm not the one to be asked. Maybe people.
Yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense. Yeah.
I might have grown a bit older.
Yeah, we've all gone down that track. And so, okay, without going into the fine detail, because we'll wrap this up. This is only meant to be a quick, short grab. But what's the main driving force that's sending you back in 22? What do you think the essence of it is? Why do you want to do it again? Can you define that, or it's just tied up with the why issue? Why you do anything?
Well, the obvious and first reason is that I love it. I love sailing, and I love being at sea and on the ocean. And
So when hang on, just to grab that bit, when you say you love it, is that it one thing, or is it the big picture?
well, it's a good question. I guess I love sailing on the ocean, and I love the ocean and being there, and I enjoyed enormously being there alone and in the peace and having the opportunity to thoroughly enjoy it and all the other things too, the reading the books and having time to think of things, and maybe that gets me to the other reason why I'm very committed in in doing this project comprising of these two races, one after another, and that is that during the time we were away, for the 2018 GGR. The Swedish Greta Thunberg made a lot of publicity for saving the climate, or for the climate process. And I myself, I didn't hear of her before I came on land, but looking at the smog clouds on top of the shipping lanes, and also realizing the diminishing numbers of sea life on the oceans, there are less whales, less birds, less fish. I think I started feeling even stronger than before, that we really have to do something. And I think, as an eternal optimist, I think that the blessing of this corona pandemic might be that people world over might take the message from the scientists more seriously, and they understand that if this corona pandemic is a serious thing, and we were told about it already years before. I warmly recommend for everybody that watch Bill Gates' TED Talk 2015, when he gave a very exact prediction of what was to come regarding this pandemic. And the scientists have been telling us for more than 30, 40 years of the climate crisis, and the consequences of the climate problem will be much more severe than this pandemic if we don't listen to the take action. And I hope that I can do my share in increasing the awareness of the situation. And again, as an eternal optimist, I want to increase the awareness that we have solutions at hand if we just want to take action, and maybe cut down slightly with our material greediness, and put our efforts and money into saving the seas and the planet for the next generations. I have become maybe one of my most important news is that I have become a grandfather during this year, and I have a cute grandson, and I want to do my best so that he will be able to sail on clean oceans and lead a happy life in the future.
Yeah, it is pretty amazing being another old fellow like you. You sort of think, wow, I'd rather be where I am now rather than being someone that's just been born. It's going to be quite challenging. So there's some good messages there. Okay, so that's all very good. It's really good to catch up. We'll look forward to getting the in-depth rundown on your 22 ambitions and how it goes. But I've got to say, so many times, Asteria is a beautiful boat. I mean, absolute classic. I mean, it suits you to the T. And your new boat, Galliana, it's just classic you all over again. So you certainly keep the style going. So we look forward to plenty more stories in the future, eh?
Yeah, well, looking forward to that, and I've always said that I have always loved my boats, and
It's very obvious.
I do love Asterias. Is a most beautiful and seaworthy boat, and I fell in love with Galliana, and I'm thankful, indebted to you, Don, that you gave me a hint of Galliana. That already before I stepped on land in France, I knew that there's a fine boat for sale, and which had been my boat of dreams since my childhood.
Yeah, absolutely. She's a classic. So, and I'm sure there's a whole new race to happen in 22. It's going to be very interesting. There's a good fleet of boats and interesting characters, but I think you'll be reliving something very special then. Anyway, another day.
Absolutely, I'm looking forward.
Okay.
Yeah, thanks, Don.
Not a problem. Happy anniversary, Tapio, and we'll look forward to catching you again later on. So I'll get rid of you now and see you again soon.
Thank you, and give a big.
Oh, too early. Hang on. Stay there, Tapio. Where'd you go? Hang on. I'm bringing you back now. I think you'll come back in a sec. Sorry, I chopped you too early. You said say a big hello to someone.
Yeah, I asked you to give a big hug to Jane for me.
I will. She's just over the side checking I'm pressing the right buttons. But anyway, I cut that one a bit short. So, okay, see you later, Tapio. Well done. And it was amazing to watch your journey in 2018. See ya. Okay, so that's Tapio, and I'll just pop this up here. Good to catch him. It was a quick one. So see you again next Tuesday for Guy De Boer. See you later. Bye-bye. Hello, Tapio. We're off the air now. Can you hear me? Thanks for that. Yeah. No, we've shut the show down. I think it should be stopped now. Stopped. Yeah, I think it's stopped now. So we're just talking. But yeah, thanks for that. That was all good. People will like to know that, and I knew Barry was working on the book, and there'll be a lot of people interested in that, I'm sure.
Yeah, let's hope so. The problem, of course, is that it is written from a Finnish kind of point of view and concentrating mostly on me, and so I asked Barry that.
Oh, hang on. Something's gone wrong. We're still on air. So that's okay. We'll keep talking. People will be listening. We're just chatting. I'll turn it off in a minute.
No big secrets.
Yeah. So, okay. All right. Well, that's good. So I'm sure everyone will be keen to get the book. So now I'll try and sign off properly, and we'll see you later.
Yeah. All right. Okay.
Just typical GGR, eh? I better be careful how I sign off in future. See you later. Jane's going ballistic. Jane's going nuts over here. See ya. Hang on. I think it's off now. Yeah, it should be off now. It says it's off.
Hi, Jane.
There's going to be a lot of people laughing. Is it off? Huh? Something's going wrong. I'm going to turn my computer off now.
No, even if I was still on the air. I can tell you a classic story from the Finnish radio more than 50 years ago. That there was a very popular children's program, one weekly children's program, where an old guy like you and me was reading stories to children, and half of Finland's children were listening to it. And then once when he had just finished his story, and he thought that he was cut off the air, he said that, well, and now this daddy-o is going to go to the loo and get a big shit. Half of it.
Okay. Well, all I've got here on my screen says something went wrong. Something went wrong. Something went wrong. It's got here, Jane. I can't work it out to turn it off. Something's turned off. So I'm going to have to shut my computer now. Tapio, we can't work out how to turn it off. I think we've got a bug in the software. I might have to, I don't know. Anyway, see you later. I'll do everything I can to shut this down. See you later, everybody.
Bye-bye.
See, it's got stop streaming here, Jane. Don't have a look at this. See?